let's get ready to dive deep into prepping for your first 10K.
Yeah.
We've got a fantastic running guide here, just packed with practical advice. We're talking training plans, nutrition tips,
Oh, yeah.
race day strategies, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, everything you need.
Everything you need to conquer that finish line. So
Sounds good.
let's unpack this bad boy and break it down for you.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so, one thing that jumps out at me right away is the emphasis on training. Obviously, that's important.
Yeah.
But the guide lays out both a beginner plan and an advanced beginner plan.
That's right.
Both of them emphasize this gradual build over 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And that consistency, even when it gets tough,
Oh, absolutely.
is super important.
Yeah, and there's a real reason for that gradual build.
Yeah. What's the thinking there?
Well, you're slowly but surely increasing your mileage.
Mhm.
That's how you prevent injuries.
Right.
And actually, it's also how you build mental toughness.
I see.
Because, let's be honest, some days you're just not going to feel like running.
Ugh. Tell me about it.
But if you stick with the plan,
Hmm.
you power through those days, you develop that mental resilience.
And that pays off big time on race day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I bet. Okay, so we're being consistent. We're gradually building.
Yeah.
Then we hit this really fascinating point.
Okay.
The beginner plan, even the
Mhm.
beginner plan,
Yeah.
works up to a 5-mile long run.
5 miles. Yes.
5 miles.
It's kind of a magic number.
Right.
In the running world, I'd say yeah.
What is it about that distance?
Well, for starters, your body really starts to adapt.
Oh, okay.
The guide cites all this research, around the 5-mile mark.
Hmm.
Your muscles just get way more efficient at using oxygen.
Oh, wow.
And mentally, think about it. You prove to yourself you can go the distance.
Yeah.
Huge confidence boost.
You're like, all right, I can handle this.
Exactly.
So we're building physical endurance.
Yes.
But we're also building mental endurance at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Okay, so it's not just about hitting the pavement, though.
Definitely not.
The guide puts a lot of emphasis on strength training,
So important.
especially core work. Why is that so crucial for runners?
Well, think of your core as like the central powerhouse.
Okay, yeah.
It stabilizes your entire body.
Right.
When you run, if your core is weak, you're more likely to have inefficient movement, which honestly just increases your chance of getting injured.
Nobody wants that.
No one wants to be sidelined.
So all those planks and crunches,
Yeah.
they're not just about six-pack abs.
Yeah. No.
They're translating into better running form.
Absolutely. They're helping you become a stronger, more efficient runner.
Makes sense. Okay, so strength training is in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
The guide also recommends cross-training for both plans.
Yes.
Cross-training has always been a good way for me to just keep things interesting.
Oh, for sure.
It's nice to give those running muscles a break,
It is.
but still stay active.
Exactly. And there are some real benefits,
Yeah, what else does the guide say about cross-training?
It helps prevent overuse injuries
Okay.
because you're working different muscle groups.
Right.
And also, improves your overall fitness,
Mhm.
which can actually boost your running performance.
I like that. Boosting performance.
Yeah.
And speaking of boosting performance,
Yes.
let's talk about fuel.
Okay, let's talk fuel.
The nutrition advice in this guide,
Mm-hmm.
I always find that so fascinating.
Yeah.
What are some of the key takeaways here?
Well, the guide emphasizes a balanced diet.
Okay.
You got to have those carbs for energy,
Mm-hmm.
protein for muscle repair,
Right?
and those healthy fats for just overall well-being.
Good stuff.
It's not just about race day.
Right.
It's about consistently nourishing your body throughout your training.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And this is something I really appreciate. The guide really stresses practicing your race day nutrition strategy
Yes.
during your training runs.
So important.
I've learned that the hard way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Once tried a new energy gel during a long run.
Oh, no.
My stomach was not happy.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
Oh, yeah. So what kind of things should our listener be testing out?
Well, you want to find what works best for you.
Right.
So, different energy gels,
Okay.
sports drinks,
Mm-hmm.
even simple things.
Yeah.
Like bananas or pretzels.
Huh?
See what seats well in your stomach
Yeah.
and gives you that sustained energy.
So important.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked training.
Mhm.
We've talked fuel.
Yes.
The guide doesn't just stop at the physical aspects of preparing for a 10K, though.
That's right.
There's a whole section on the mental game.
So important. The mental game is huge.
It really is.
Huge.
Why does the guide dedicate so much space to that?
Because your mind can be your biggest ally
Okay.
or your worst enemy.
Out on that race course.
Especially when you hit that wall.
Yeah.
You know that inevitable moment when you just want to quit?
Oh, yeah.
That's when your mental strength really kicks in.
What are some of the techniques the guide recommends?
So they recommend practicing mental techniques throughout your training.
Okay.
Things like positive self-talk, visualization,
Oh, yeah.
breaking the race down into smaller, more manageable segments.
Right, like bite-sized pieces.
Exactly.
You know, so you're not overwhelmed by the whole 10K at once.
It's all about tricking your mind a little bit.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're using these mental strategies during the race, but the guide also emphasizes
Yes.
the importance of setting realistic goals.
Oh, absolutely.
Celebrating those milestones
Yes.
along the way.
You've got to celebrate those wins.
Why is that so important?
Well, it's easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others,
Oh, for sure.
especially, this is your first 10K,
Yeah.
but this guide reminds you. The biggest victory is crossing that finish line.
Doesn't matter what your time is.
Doesn't matter what your time is.
You did
Tito. You did it. Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, one last thing that really caught my eye in this guide
Okay.
was the section on gear.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And it goes way beyond just shoes.
It does. It does.
What are some of the key takeaways there?
Well, they stress testing everything.
Okay.
Your shoes, your socks, your clothing, even your hydration pack
Wow.
during those long training runs.
During training.
Yeah. You want to avoid any surprises or discomfort on race day?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
What does this all mean for our listener who's gearing up for their first 10K?
It means you can do this.
You can do this.
Consistent training, smart prep, and a positive mindset will go a long way.
That's so true.
It is.
Any final words of wisdom?
This is your journey. Embrace the challenge, enjoy the process, and celebrate every single step of the way.
I love that. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
It was my pleasure.
To all our listeners out there, lace up those shoes, hit the pavement, and crush that 10K.
You got this.